My name is Arun Jagtiani, and I'm a proud St. Martin. In a few short weeks, our country is going to be heading to the polls to elect 15 new members to Parliament. There's 126 candidates from 9 different political parties that are contesting this election, and I think the entire voting population could benefit from knowing a little bit more about who these candidates are. Over the next few days, I'm going to interview a few new faces and a few political veterans. So join me, St. Martin, and let's talk politics. Welcome to another edition of Talking Politics with Arun. I'm joined today by the number 7 candidate on the UP list, that's 7 up. He's none other than Mr. Sidharth Bijlani. Thank you so much, Cookie, for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you, Arun, for inviting me to this show.
It's a pleasure.
I am really appreciating this because it's my first time to be on a video.
Oh, really?
Filming.
Okay. Oh,
so
excellent.
I hope I can stand correct for my people.
Excellent, excellent. So the first question I think that comes to a lot of people's mind when they see your posters on the street is the nickname Cookie. Where does that come from and what does it symbolize?
I don't want to make a hype story about it, but I got that name from my childhood.
Interesting.
Even in my school,
okay.
Even in my college, people called me Cookie.
Okay.
In school, only the principal of the school called me as Sidharth.
Okay.
And the rest of them, Cookie, even the teachers.
And where does it stem from? Is it
I think in the family, they just put my name as Cookie.
Okay.
I don't know
and
what.
Might
stuck. Be I was looking like a chocolate chip or something.
Okay.
So
and it just kind of stuck.
It just got, and everybody liked it, and they just started calling me Cookie. And I think Sidharth was a bit long name for them to call, so might be they adopted Cookie.
It's easier to remember, let's say, it's definitely for the western part of the world.
And you know, in India, it's mostly in a middle-class family. Things are nitty-gritty. Everything is close by.
Sure.
And when your mom yells at you with your name, dad yells at you.
Yes.
It's Cookie, Cookie, Cookie. So people hear it out, and then it just goes on.
It sticks, and there's no turning back. It crossed the Atlantic.
Yes.
Okay. This is your second time contesting a parliamentary election here in St. Martin. The first question I have to ask, you're coming from the business community.
Yes.
What inspired you to get involved in politics?
Well, right from 30 years in St. Martin, things in business have gone up, up, up. But lately, from 7, 8, 9 years, it's going down, down, down.
Okay.
And due to the reasons of the sufferings that business community is having, we needed a voice in the government.
Okay.
Like to express our problems. And I feel that if the business is in there and if the government gets a little know-how of the problems of what the business community is suffering,
yes,
it can be tackled much better and much viable way for the employers, the employees, everyone can have a satisfactory result. So that's why I chose, let me get into politics, and I asked around with my business people,
yes,
and they say, yes, let's do it.
So the first time you contested the elections in 2014, you ran on the DP slate.
Yes.
And now you're running on the UP slate.
Yeah.
Help me to understand your reason for shifting parties, and also what difference do you see in the leadership? So specifically, if you were to give a comparison in the leadership style of Sarah versus Teo.
In 2014, when I thought of politics, I joined the DP party. I have very high respect for the leader of that party.
Okay.
The candidates during those times, and especially the 218 voters who voted me. I really appreciate that, and I'm thanking for them. At that time when I entered, my main thing was tourism.
Yes.
And looking at the scenario a couple of years now, tourism was not at the highest level with DP party.
Okay.
And we wanted to touch tourism, improve the quality here. And I saw the vision in the UP party, and time has proven many times that the leader of UP party, Mr. Theo Halliger, has always done better in tourism. Sure. And I wanted to get into that so I can be exposed, taken up, in tourism, which is my core thing.
Okay.
So,
well, tourism obviously is
Yes.
the blood life
Blood
that
life
flows
for-
through the veins
yes.
of our economy.
That's
Absolutely,
right, that's
what
right.
keeps us going.
yeah.
Recently, I've read that we've experienced a dip in our cruise tourism numbers. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but I have been told that, you know, for almost a decade, we were seeing every year the numbers were going up, up, up. But in the last year, I believe, we've seen a dip in the arrivals.
In the last
Touch on that, please.
couple of years, it's been going down and down because two of the major cruise lines backed out.
Okay.
So if you take it as, if a cruise line backs out, it's like 2 or 3 ships that comes in.
Yes.
And every week there's a
Sure.
ship here. So if you add it up, it becomes 100,000, 150,000 per
It
cruise
adds up,
line.
yes, over the
So
year.
if
Yeah.
you take it, 2 cruise lines, that's 250,000 passengers right there, gone.
So questions have been asked about the carrying capacity for this island as a tourism destination. In other words, how much tourism is too much? So is it a good thing that we've lost some of this cruise tourism because it alleviates maybe some of the congestion that came with that? Or is this something that we need to be really concerned of and make sure we get those numbers back up?
I think the balance situation, even if we lose that cruise arrivals, but if you gear up on the quality of the tourist here, then you can set up a little balance.
Okay.
We don't have a problem if we lose the 300,000 passengers, but if you have, say, 80,000, 90,000 high quality passengers
Sure.
or coming via the cruise lines or coming via the airlifts,
Yes.
then at least you can balance the situation. Right now, currently, our island is suffering is the imbalance of quantity and quality of tourism.
Okay.
We need to set up those parameters in a balance so that we can have a proper tourism here, and I feel a year-round tourism will be an added thing to this.
So what are some things you believe government can be doing or we can be doing as a nation to have that balance more in check between quantity and quality?
Proper marketing.
Sure.
You have to tap into those markets where you have never been before.
Okay.
Expose the island as a product so that people are thrilled to come here.
Sure.
We have beautiful beaches. We have everything here that
Yeah.
people want for recreation, just for relaxation. And we have to give them that.
Okay, so the exposure of the island
Exposure
certainly
of the
needs
island,
to be
yes.
improved upon. I have to ask, do you consider yourself as a spokesman for the Indian community or the business community at large?
I consider to be as for the business community at large and for the country also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's important.
It's
I think-
important that whatever I do, no doubt it benefits the business community, but it has to benefit everyone on the island.
all segments of
All
the,
segments of the
economy.
island. And tourism is a forte that I've chosen, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to look into infrastructure or the education problems or the crime and security problems.
Sure.
But I feel that if you improve the budget of government is 450 million.
Yes.
Okay, and they have expenses built up on
Of
that.
course.
Sometimes they have to tweak something, give up something to get something extra.
Yes.
So if you improve the tourism, automatically the budget can be going up a little bit. So
Yes.
that extra funds what you have there, you can utilize in education, you can utilize in crime and security, you can utilize in infrastructure. Everything is a problem, but let's have where the capital comes in from. Improve that first, so then you can channelize everywhere.
Sure. I think one of the biggest buzzwords right now on this campaign trail for when we talk about tourism is got to be the China Pearl project.
Yes.
There's been arguments from both sides of the aisle, let's say, whether it's a good project, bad project. What are your thoughts in terms of, we were just speaking about, you know, having that balance of quantity
Yes.
and quality. How do you think this fits into that equation?
Well, I think it's a project that is needed for the island, but the
Okay.
way it is brought up, without the studies done and the effects of it, the location of it, I think is a question for many on the island.
Fair.
But a project like that, if you set it up in Mullet Bay or in those
Oh.
kind of areas,
Yeah.
I think it's, and a brand name. instead
Very
of
important.
Pearl of China, if there was a Marriott or if there was a brand name where, you know what, today's virtual world, people just go on computer and they see all the things in there.
Yes.
When you book a vacation, right away the first few names come on your mind, that's the hit.
You know you have a level of comfort with certain brands.
That's it.
You know.
So you need to have those on this island here, which is lacking. And if you look at Aruba,
Sure.
they have a lot of those.
We can learn a lot from their model.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Idea is not bad, but the way it is put up, I think it's not digested by many of them, including me.
okay.
And I live in that area, so it's
Oh, so
going
it's
to be
extra close to home,
It's going
yeah.
to be blocking my views and a lot
okay.
of my neighbors' views, which is also a concern too.
Of course.
Yeah,
So okay, well,
and the traffic congestion.
the traffic congestion is certainly something that needs to
That'll
be,
be a problem.
considered. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, he's the number 7 candidate on the UP list, United People's Party. This is none other than Mrs. Sidharth Bijlani. Thank you so much for joining us. I
Thank
would love to
you.
continue the conversation, but in the interest of time, we've got to wrap this up.
I really understand that thing, and thank you for inviting me.
A pleasure. And in conclusion, we'd love for you to send a message directly to the voters and tell them why they should vote for you.
I am Sidharth Bijlani, candidate number 7 on the Up Party slate. My idea is to uplift tourism, but inclusive of education, crime and security, and a better life for every citizen of the island. So if you put me in, I'll make sure that I work for everyone. Vote for number 7 on Up Party slate. Thank you so much.